Hi guys, it's Nathan from Notifia. Today I wanted to go over sort of one of our most popular tools, which is the social proof widget. I wanted to explain the tool in full, give you a couple of sort of use cases, and really just provide some sort of education and hopefully give you some new ideas on how you can grow your business and yeah, basically increase conversion rates. So social proof is a principle that was initially brought up by Dr. Robert Cialdini in the book Psychology and Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion, which really teaches about how sort of marketing and sales people can use sort of different psychological principles to influence people to perform specific actions. And social proof is one of the six principles, which is essentially we find comfort in sort of seeing other people sort of taking action first. For example, a few places where these principles are used in a sort of day-to-day basis would be in a nightclub. Bouncers are actually specifically told to leave the queue very long outside of a nightclub, so it looks very popular inside, and people assume it's a lively place to go, and this brings more people into it. Again, also with sort of restaurants, if you see a very busy restaurant, you immediately assume that it is a good restaurant because there's a lot of people there, and this is social proof. We're seeking validation in numbers. And another example that I can sort of give you is Booking.com uses this quite a lot, along with the sort of fear of missing out. So here we can see a lot of fear of missing out principles, 93% reserved, giving us a bit of a warning. Book 2 times for your date, last booked 1 minute ago. And here only 1 room left on our site. So for example, if we were looking to book a hotel in London, this is giving us the fear of missing out, that there's only 1 left. We need to check out sort of very quickly. Airbnb also use this. This place has been getting a lot of attention. It's been viewed 500 times in the past week, which also instills in our minds that it is a popular, sort of in-demand place to be. And Airbnb actually have the head of growth at Airbnb has actually been quoted saying that adding these little sort of notifications across the website was the biggest influence in increasing bookings for the whole time he was at Airbnb. And so, for example, those are some sort of travel related examples, and this is a British sort of e-commerce retailer that are also using sort of similar principles. If I can just find a quick example. So yeah, like I'm sure that you must have seen it by now on a lot of sort of websites saying that John from London recently purchased this particular product, or other people viewing this particular product. And the reason that it's becoming sort of more and more common to see this, for example, here we see 20 others looking at this right now, bought many times in the past 48 hours. This is just showing that it's a popular sort of thing to buy, and the truth of it is that it really does increase the number of conversions that you receive on your website. So I'm going to show you how to set this up. So we're going to head over to the Notifia dashboard. We're going to give a little name for your campaign, and we'll add this on notifia.io, and we're just going to select conversion feed. So here we're now in the customization panel where we can adjust the settings to our liking. So we can change here recently claimed a free trial, and the fallback text is if we're unable to collect someone's first name. For example, if you have a form that doesn't have a first name submission field, then we can add this text and we'll display this if we're unable to capture the first name. And then we've now added whatever text you like in there. We can head down to where we would like to display this. So in this case, let's display on all pages that, let's just start off with displaying on the home page, just to keep it simple. And next we're going to choose where to capture this data from. So for example, we capture this data from a form. So if you have a checkout on your website, if you have a contact us form, that could be used as well. If you have an email submission sort of sign up on your blog, where you wanted to register every time someone joins your newsletter, we can use that as well. So any form that contains an email input field, we can capture data from. If you leave this ticked, will listen to every page on your website, or you can specify, for example, we just want to capture data from any URL that contains checkout. So however you prefer to structure this, or if you wanted to send over data from a third-party platform, we can receive webhooks and you can send data over to us. So if you hit save, we'll generate a URL for this particular widget. And for example, every time you make a sale in Stripe can send us over a webhook, and we would receive this data, and you would simply send the data over to us. But in this particular case, I'm going to do URL contains sign up, as this is our page, and then we choose where we want to position the widget. So I'm going to go over the bottom left, launch the campaign, turn it on. And now essentially this is real-time information. So it's not going to appear straight away until it has actually captured some data from your website. We only display real activity being sort of taken on your website. So whatever page you've asked us to listen to, for example, as soon as we receive a submission on our sign up page, we will then register this conversion, and then it will start displaying back as a notification. So I'm just going to give a quick example of how it looks, because I do have a campaign set up already. Let's wait for the script to load once the website is done loading. Or if I turn this off. Okay, let's just see a quick example on our homepage, because I have this set up already. So first you're going to see our conversion summary widget, saying how many people signed up in the past 7 days. And next we have a marketer from Cardiff just joined Notifia. So this is collecting real-time data. Whenever someone creates an account on our website, we're collecting this data and we're then displaying it back as a notification. A few other ways that this can be used, I'll just give you a few examples, is if you, for example, received a new follower, if you received a new newsletter sign up, for example, on this page here, whenever someone submits to join our newsletter at the bottom here, we also capture this information and we display it back as a social proof pop-up. So this is another way for you to use the tool. As you can see down here, recently signed up. Another way for you to do it is for sales and sign-ups on your website, or if you've got an agency and you're trying to increase the number of people who are submitting a contact us form, you could listen to this page as well. We're also doing some more advanced integrations with third-party tools. So, for example, with Zapier, you can send over data whenever you have a new follower on Twitter. You could set up Zapier to send this data over to us, and we would automatically display someone just followed you on Twitter in the notification. So you can also use it for gaining more social media followers. Essentially the main benefits of using this tool are increased trust within the business. People feel a lot more comfortable seeing other people taking action on your website. This is widely proven now, as hundreds of people are using sort of similar tactics of displaying reviews, social proof, and real-time activity on websites for increasing trust. It also increases sales, because people get the fear of missing out. For example, if you keep, this is how we use it on our blog post. If someone is reading a blog post and in the bottom left-hand corner, it's continuously saying someone's just signed up for this in Cairo, someone in Canada has just signed up for this, someone in London has just signed up for it, it immediately makes the visitor think, what are all of these people signing up for? What is it that I'm missing out for? And this works incredibly well. Just by adding this pop-up onto our blog, we were able to increase the number of signups we received as the blog as the source of traffic for the Notifia main software application by 47%, I believe it was. It was a few months ago. I ran this experiment, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, it was just under 50%. I remember that we managed to increase signups by. So it honestly does work exceedingly well. The tool is completely free to use. So I would suggest, if you have an e-commerce store, if you have a blog, if you have an agency, if you have a SaaS product, I would strongly suggest testing this out on your website. Other than that, if you have any questions while setting this up, we have full-time sort of live support, or feel free to leave any comments on the video with any questions, feature suggestions, and queries. And I'd love to hear them. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.